Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the recovery addict, and boy do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
Got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughened him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the Recovery Addicts live stream in their courtroom.
The fireworks are not done.
Now we're getting commentary on the case.
Dahil mihi Anglican po, he's nervous watching.
That's literally not true.
I didn't ask you to interrupt me.
Woo! Welcome back to the Court of Public Opinion. I'm in a world of hurt right now. Let's see. I am not seeing a feed that we're supposed to be getting. Can anyone help me out? We were supposed to have this through Court TV at least, a live feed on this trial, the Timothy Leafnick trial out of Illinois, and I've got nada. We heard that there was a bit of a scare, a fire alarm this morning, or a smoke alarm or something that went off. It feels like a smoke alarm should go off in my house. I'm dying in here. It's like 150 degrees in my studio. See, it says that it's 71, but I know it's hotter. There we go. We'll get that air going here. Welcome back to the Court of Public Opinion. I don't know who won the internet this time. Maybe it was Coulliette. I don't know. Coulliette, was that you? I don't know. That's as far back as it goes. But this is the portal. We are here. Welcome. I'm now switching. I had to switch my setup, so I'm not going through StreamYard anymore. I'm now going through my switcher, which that just took a little bit longer to do. Saw a bit on Law and Crime an hour ago, but are you seeing anything live? I'm not seeing the live feed. Let's see. Let's go over here. Just 1 second here. Got the lawsuit over the boat crash and the Murdaugh trial. Lawyer's mom. Sorry, we're looking for Bleefnick, and I'm not finding it at all. This is no bueno. It's not good. No playlist. Let's see, we've got somebody on the phone. Let's see who's calling in.
Call from Bree.
Hey, Bree. This Recovery Addict. How are you doing?
Good. It looks like Jay has it up on his channel, but he says they're on lunch break till 1. So I don't know if maybe you can ping him and figure out where he's getting the stream from, but it looks like they're at lunch break.
We might go back and watch. Let me go back. I thought it would be live right now, but that would explain why it's not live. Yeah. So I'm looking for it live.
He said it resumes at 1 p.m. I'm Mountain Time, so it's 10 o'clock in the morning. So that doesn't mean anything to me.
Awesome. Okay, that makes a little more sense. Okay, so what we might do then is we might take a lunch and then pick up with the openings after lunch, and we'll watch High Speed through the rest of today. That
okay.
Could be a
I just figured I saw that, so I'd let you know.
Thank you. That's Bree. That works great. 2:30 their time, Illinois. So we've got a bit of a long. That's a long lunch break. Wow.
It says because he has like 56 minutes counting down. So yeah. I think they might just went to lunch.
I think so. I think we just barely missed them. Well, thank you, Bree. I appreciate the update and saving me. I'm like, where did the video go? It was here before.
No.
I do one interview and then everything just disappears.
From home helps.
Yep.
That's what working from home does. It allows you to be able to find all this stuff. So just in case you need anything.
Yeah. Thank you, Bree. Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Bye.
Have a good one. Bye. Thank you for bailing me out there with an answer. Video still says waiting for you. Who's where are you watching the waiting? Oh, this video says waiting. Let's see. Let me catch up here. Let me get down to the bottom. That's for the lawyer case. J is Merritt. Okay, so that's a different one. No, different case. Okay, so Bree, we might be talking about different ones. Merritt case is on lunch. Yeah, I'm missing our Family Feud case, which I believe was supposed to be on. No video feed came through. So Cindy Lou Who. Cindy Lou Who, who was not more than 2. You know what that reference is from, right? So, I'm a Dr. Seuss fan. I asked Solomon about that. I mentioned it first, so he responded to me. The tape would be released later today. Okay, so we might be even further delayed if we have to watch it after the fact. There's no video feed from the Family Feud case yet. Okay, I'm gonna do some digging here on this one to figure out where we are. Can you give me a lunch break to do that, and then we'll do an update either as a community post or will be no live feed audio will be released later, I think. So we're gonna have to wait for the later release. I didn't realize. I thought it was gonna be live streamed. That was my fault. Let's see. Okay. I apologize. I'm going through. The burner phone is full of messages for Saul, and I didn't get to read any of them. Family Feud case starts 2:30 their time, FYI. It hasn't started today yet. So maybe they had extra time this morning to finish up the jury selection in case they needed it. But I think they seated the jury last night. They got all 12 jurors and 4 alternates in place late last night, or at least at the end of the day. So we can go to lunch, and then we'll do this afternoon and pick it up. That sounds more in line with what we need. Burner phone needs a secretary. Cash out. I believe I have your application somewhere in my piling system for that. And also regarding a website, which I need to contact you about. Per local news station, no media outlets will be allowed to broadcast the stream the trial live. However, WGEM News is in the courtroom and will live blog via Twitter throughout the trial. I've been following... Hold tight. Let's see, KHQA is also in the trial. Well, that might change everything. We might have to pick up another case. Let me do the homework and figure out the answers over lunch. We'll do that, and we'll no lunch, just talk, says Mrs. H. What do you want to talk about? What time are we coming back? The case has started in Quincy. The Twitter accounts of local news are tweeting it as it happens. I'm seeing tweets about witnesses right now in that case, so I believe that is correct. We're seeing KHQA is tweeting about a secretary witness on the stand. The secretary from where the sons attend school. Why are we not getting the live feed that we were promised on this one? Sound's not on. Did I forget to let's see what I did here. Sounds should be on. Let me see what the volume level is. Oh, it's just quiet. That's all. Try it again. Okay. All right. I'm a bit frazzled. If we have no trial to watch, can we rewatch the ZA trial? We could. Buffer, see mod chat, please. I was just looking at mod chat. It says...
You're talking
Sounds
about
not on
stuff that is not relevant.
Oh, the judge said no. Judge said no. I hate it when the judge changes his mind about something, because that was planned to go ahead. No Family Feud case allowed, the judge said on Friday. The judge said. Man, Bummer. So we have to get rid of this case and pick up a new one. I do want to find one. We can find one even that's in
There's
progress.
a lawsuit.
Probably not the same one that Brandy's doing. So let's look for something else possible. What about the football player?
I was kicked back, taking it easy.
We'll have to do some quick scouting here. Football player. That was one that started yesterday, I think. Ex-NFL player.
I'm not a cat.
Let's see. That one's supposed to start when? That one shows yesterday's start date, but there's no video. People are still waiting for it. All right, it's time to take lunch. We can do the regular daily trials. They're fun and interesting. Let's see who's on right now, just as a quick check to see what courts are in session. Just for a minute. Trial. Who's live? Oh, we've got Jackson County felony trial, State versus Coulliette. Out of Florida. Let's see if we get any sound here on this one.
Probably a couple minutes, maybe.
And he kind of described to the jury how you left the residence in your vehicle that day.
Yes, I left in a hurry.
I left in a hurry.
I left so quickly I jumped a ditch with my car.
Ooh.
Sped out of there.
Dukes of Hazzard style. This is going to be good.
Moment.
You may.
Hold tight. We're going to get this picture up. I'm just getting it set.
Does the defense wish to cross-examine this witness?
Thank you.
Your witness, Mr. Atkinson.
Okay, so I have no clue as to what this case is right now.
So your boyfriend's still with girlfriend with Mr. Howard, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Y'all live together?
No.
Okay. You love him?
Yes.
All right. Now, we got B1 up there. Would you agree that that is not an accurate depiction of the area back on September 11th, 2021?
I would agree, yes.
Okay. Because we don't see the home, which you called a home for Mr. Coulliette, do we?
No.
Okay. When you got close to to Samantha and Mr. Coulliette, had you ever seen that depiction like that, or the storage shed or the home, was it always there when you was over there?
No, the storage shed was not always there, but it's hard to tell by the image what exactly this was, but whatever it was, from the onset of my visits over there, I had never seen that.
Right. It appears to be a travel trailer, I don't know myself. Okay. All right. So tell us, take the mouse and show us, based on that picture right there, as best you can, where is the front door porch area of the storage shed?
Maybe here.
Right there. Okay. All right. And where was the white truck parked at?
Roughly somewhere in this area.
Closer to the home than your car was?
No.
All right. Now y'all were friends, and y'all had been knowing them for some time. You'd known Samantha for her whole life. Is that correct?
Yes.
Basically, when y'all were still not her whole life. Okay. And I think that Mr. Howard had actually went to school with y'all also. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And then y'all met Mr. Coulliette through his relationship with Samantha. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And you testified that during this time when y'all were up there, that he told you to tell Samantha to tell you what the problem was, right?
Correct.
Okay. He wasn't hiding anything. He was saying, look, I think he said one time he felt like you was interfering with their relationship. Is that? I'm not saying you were. I'm just saying that's what he felt like, correct?
I'm not sure maybe what he felt like. No,
that's why he indicated
answer
to you.
that. But
You said on direct that you didn't want to be, he didn't want you to be friends with Samantha no more, correct?
No. That was from Samantha's mouth.
But he asked you to.
Samantha felt like I was interfering.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. But again, Mr. Coulliette is saying, tell her what's wrong, right?
Yes.
Okay. And how many times do you think that he told you to leave that day?
At least 3.
3? Was you on the porch when he told you to leave?
I was on the walkway.
Okay, that connects to the porch?
Yeah, I do believe so, yes.
Okay. And Samantha was on the porch, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And where was, if you can recall, where was Mr. Howard at when the first time that he told you to leave?
He was in the vehicle still.
In the vehicle?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Was he ever outside of the vehicle when he told y'all to leave?
I do believe as he was exiting the vehicle, he did hear him.
All right. And y'all didn't leave, did you?
No.
Nobody was preventing you from leaving, were they?
No.
Okay. You could have left any point in time you wanted to, right?
That's correct.
Okay. You could have gotten your car, backed out, and went down Toby Lane, and this has been over with, right?
Assuming.
Do what?
Assuming.
Okay. Or you could have called 911 if it was so bad. Right?
There was no reason to call 911.
Okay, so it wasn't bad enough to call 911, so and you didn't leave, right?
No.
Okay. All right. And Mr. Howard, at any point in time, because he wasn't as close to Samantha as you was when this alleged incident occurred, he could have left easily at any point in time, couldn't you?
That's incorrect.
Why is that?
Mr. Howard was my passenger in my vehicle when we arrived at the property.
Mm-hmm.
So he couldn't have left unless I transported him back the way we came.
He can't walk?
On foot, yeah, I assume probably, yeah.
Okay. So he could have left on foot, couldn't
he? He could have.
Okay. But he chose not to, right?
I guess so.
I'm digging for the history on this, guys. Give me a minute. This is in Jackson County,
he
Florida.
Chose to be aggressive, I think was your words, with with Jonathan, correct?
Mm.
Is that right?
I don't know if I would use the term aggressive.
But you did.
Okay.
I'm asking you, instead of him leaving, he chose to stay there and be aggressive to Mr. Coulliette, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And really, there was nothing directed at you. It was all at Samantha, correct? From Mr. Coulliette.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. And Mr. Gill asked you, I think the question was, did Mr. Howard ever provoke Mr. Coulliette? You really didn't give an answer, yes or no. You said, well, he was being aggressive. In fact, he did provoke him, didn't he? He said words that was provocative, correct?
Define the word provoke in this scenario.
Well, being aggressive, being threatening, being intimidating,
As in, like
I want to fight.
No.
He never acted like he wanted to fight?
They were really good friends. I think he was trying to avoid a fight.
So he didn't wait outside when Mr. Coulliette went inside to fight. Is that what your testimony is?
For the 30 seconds, maybe that, yeah.
Okay. Was
he stood in the same exact spot.
Was he being provocative or aggressive whenever he was waiting for Mr. Coulliette to come back outside?
I don't recall. I don't believe so.
Okay. Now, so I want to make sure. So at one point in time, Mr. Howard, when y'all first got there, he went to the porch with you. Is that correct?
To the best of my memory, yes.
Okay. And you said Jonathan, and so when Jonathan come out of the house, you said he wasn't there initially, but he come out of the house or out of the home. And was Mr. Howard already back in the car at that time? Had he already received the call?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. And you said that Jonathan was pacing back and forth. Was he pacing back and forth on the porch?
On the walkway, yes, to the porch.
Was it the walkway or the porch?
The walkway and the porch is connected.
Okay. All right.
It's a bit of a hostile witness here. I'm trying to dig up which case this is. This is a felony case. out of Jackson County, Florida. The
So,
judge is Anna Garcia.
Whenever Mr.
State
Coulliette,
versus
by your testimony,
Coulliette.
goes inside, okay?
C-O-U.
Where is Mr. Howard at
L-L-I-E-T-T-E.
in relation to your car?
In relation to my, I'm sorry.
Vehicle.
Near the front.
Okay. All right. And can you describe your vehicle for us?
I drive a 2018 black Honda Accord.
Okay. All right. And would you say that he was closer to your vehicle or closer to the white pickup truck?
My vehicle.
Okay. So he wasn't by the pickup truck, he was by your vehicle, right? The Honda, right?
Closer to the car, but the car was parked directly beside the truck.
All right. But he's closest to the car.
Closer
right?
to the car, yes.
Okay. All right. And did you see Mr. Howard go in that truck anytime during this time that all this was going on?
At one point, I do believe it was upon initially arriving at their residence, he did initially arriving, open the truck door.
Okay. Did he get anything out of the truck?
No, not to my knowledge.
Okay. Well, he could have got something out of the truck, you didn't see it.
That's possible.
Okay. All right. Did he go back in the truck any point in time after that?
I do not believe so, no.
So you testified, let me ask you this. Do you know if law enforcement ever searched your vehicle?
My vehicle?
Yes.
Did
you ever see them do it? Is what I'm asking.
No.
Okay. All right. And you said, and it's on direct, okay? You said on direct examination that y'all were there a minute and a half after the incident happened outside, and you was trying to get Trenton to the vehicle. Is that correct?
If that's on the record, then yes, that's correct.
So y'all stayed there a minute and a half, right?
Moments.
Excuse me?
Moments, whatever moments was after that.
You said a minute and a half, so you changed your testimony?
I wasn't timing that, and it was after a traumatic event, so it was a rough estimate, and so I would say I would still agree.
Minute and a half? Okay.
Possibly a minute.
Okay. All right. And you said that you saw when he got cut blood. I think you testified on direct that from his chest he was bleeding profusely, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And there's no blood. If it happened by your car, there's no blood on your car, is there? Not on the outside that you saw.
No.
Hey, Joe, the only fix in this situation is to turn off chat on your TV.
Huh?
Okay. Did you go back
move these
inside?
pictures.
Did you ever go into the home where Jonathan Coulliette was living at and look and see if there was blood on the inside?
I never went into the residence that day.
So the answer is no. I didn't go in there to see if there's blood in there. Okay.
No.
Is this Timothy Coulliette?
So where was
Because it shows a different judge.
Samantha at when all this was going on? Still on the porch?
Yes.
Okay. And again, and then y'all left and went to the hospital. You said it took you some time to get there. Is that correct? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And you talked to law enforcement when you was there, right?
Yes.
You told them what happened, right?
Yes.
You told them where it was at, correct? Where it happened at, or did you? I don't know. Did you?
Yes, I
mean,
believe.
you would have. You know.
I'm not sure. I did speak with them, but I'm not sure that we spoke fully about what had happened. I can't recall that day.
Did you ever give a statement after that to law enforcement?
I do remember law enforcement contacted me several days later for a statement. Yes.
But they didn't talk to you in detail that day when you was at the hospital about what had happened. Is that what you're saying?
No, I do believe details were exchanged, just not a statement given.
Let me ask this. Do you know if you gave them the address of where it happened at?
I do believe so, yes.
And you said it appeared to be a blue handled box blade?
Yes,
Had you seen that box blade? Has it been shown to you since the incident back on September 11th?
not to my knowledge, no.
And I'm assuming when you say you jumped the ditch, I mean, that's a pretty significant event. I guess it would have left some marks or something there. Is that correct?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. But you were moving out pretty good, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Whenever Mr. Howard got out of the vehicle to kind of see what was going on, did he stay right at the car?
He did.
He didn't move up toward the porch or to the white truck?
No.
Okay. And did he close the door?
To the car?
Your car, if you know.
I can't recall.
Okay. All right. Can I have a second, please?
You may.
That's all the questions I have.
So this is the
Does the
14th
state wish to
Circuit.
redirect?
Just briefly, Your Honor.
Go ahead, Mr. Gill.
Ms. Henderson, is it fair to say that once you realized what had happened to your boyfriend, Mr. Howard, that your focus and attention was really on him?
Yes.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Counsels, may this witness be released?
I'd ask to remain subject to recall, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Henderson, you are released at this time. However, you are subject to recall. So please remember the admonishments that this
Released,
court
but
made
also
regarding
subject to
sequestration
recall.
of witnesses, okay?
Usually it's one or
And
the
you are
other.
free to go. I'd like counsel to approach.
Okay, we're trying to bring up the backstory of this. I will update the description on the video here in just a minute. Let's see. Trying to find the documents here. I do apologize. We thought we would have footage from the Family Feud trial. They said that they were going to have a live stream available for us, and the judge changed his mind, is not allowing it to be streamed. So we're having to pinch hit
Mr.
here.
Gill, does the state wish to call its next witness?
Yes, Your Honor. The state would call Richard Reed to the stand.
All right.
They should be in order. I think the titles.
Officer Reed, before you sit,
help
we're
you.
going to have you placed under oath.
I think I dated everything. I'll fix the stream title. I will. I just need to know what this is first.
Officer Reed, the chair and the microphone both adjust. Please adjust them both so that you're able to speak loudly and clearly into the microphone, okay? Mr. Gill, your witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning. Could you introduce yourself to the jury?
Officer Richard Reed, employed with the Sneeds Police Department.
Okay. And how long have you been employed with Sneeds?
For full-time, 2 years, currently part-time for about a year now.
Okay. And do you have any prior law enforcement to Sneeds?
I do. I was employed with Jackson County Sheriff's Office as a deputy for roughly 6 months.
Okay. Were you employed with the Jackson County Sheriff's Office back in September of 2021?
I was.
Okay. Were you on duty on September 11th, 2021?
I was.
Okay. Were you in your duty uniform that day?
I was.
And is your uniform equipped with a audio video recording device?
It is.
How did you become involved in this case? First involved.
It was a call that had come in. That was in my zone at the time. the zone I was working. It was an incident where I was called to the hospital.
Gone to the hospital first?
Yep.
Okay. And when you went to the hospital, who did you make contact with first?
I made contact with a female subject,
Do you recall her name?
Jasmine.
Okay. And what did you do when you made contact with Jasmine?
When I made contact with Jasmine, I received a sworn statement from her where she gave me the details of the incident that had occurred.
Okay. After you were speaking with Miss Henderson, Jasmine Henderson, what did you do after that?
I tried to make contact with Trenton, and he was, at the time, he was unable to speak with me due to being medically under some medical medicine or anesthesia or whatever you want to call it.
Where did you make contact? Where was Mr. Howard, Trenton Howard, when you made contact with him?
He was in the emergency room.
Okay. If you would, Deputy Reed, go ahead and look in that book in front of you, and you probably got to flip a few pages, but would you like to focus your attention to states, what is marked for identification purposes only as States Exhibit C2 and C3? Do you recognize State C2?
I do.
And do you recognize State C3?
I do.
How do you recognize those?
I viewed them this morning and also signed them. That's my signature on them.
Okay. And what is C2?
Their body cam footage of the incident that took place.
Both of them?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And are those true and accurate body cam recordings of the incident that took place on September 11, 2021?
Yes, sir.
And you have reviewed them?
I have.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would move to introduce States Exhibit C2 and C3 as States Exhibit C2 and C3.
Is there any objection?
No, ma'am.
What's been marked for identification purposes as the State's Exhibit C1 and C3 shall now be admitted into evidence as the State's Exhibit C1 and C3, and those will be available to you during your deliberations.
Permission to publish, Your Honor?
You may publish. And is there a request regarding 2.2?
Yes, Your Honor. The state would be requesting that instruction 2.2 be read.
Any objection?
No, ma'am.
All right. Members of the jury, you are about to view a video recording. The court instructs you that the recording has been edited to eliminate irrelevant portions that would not add to your understanding of the case. The fact that the recording has been edited should not concern you in any way and must not impact the way you view and consider this evidence. State, you may publish.
I think we're going to get the video in the bottom right-hand corner, hopefully. We're still digging this up. This may be Timothy Coulliette facing charges of battery and aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, possibly. The last name matches. It's the right county. We're just trying to make sure the documents are not easy to find on the county website. We can hear you. He leaned over to the microphone and whispered to the defendant.
It is publishing C2.
Ooh, body cam.
Officer Reed, is this when you first made contact with Jasmine Henderson at the hospital?
It is.
Okay.
I'm wondering if maybe this conversation might have been important to hear. Let me see if I can read you this. I think this is the take. Let's see. It's a 2020 crime, December 29th, 2020, almost New Year's Eve. Jackson County Sheriff's Office says a Christmas night stabbing suspect was arrested in Leon County early Sunday morning. The victim had stab wounds to the head, chest, and arms. Deputies observed that the knife blade was broken off in his arm and remained lodged there, the press release says. The victim identified 32-year-old Timothy Coulliette, who was from Mariana, as a suspect. The victim told deputies he was trying to break up a fight between two women when Coulliette attacked him. The sheriff's office got a warrant for his arrest and put out a regional BOLO for him. They found him on December 27th. He's facing charges of battery and aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. And he was getting extradited back to Jackson County. We think this is the trial. This is the last witness. The lady we're seeing on the stand was the tan lady who talked to us previously. And I'm thinking that the people in court can probably hear what she's saying, whereas we cannot, which is too bad. Date on the police cam seems to be next year. They've been talking about September 11th. It might be a different case. We're in the right county, the right name, but the dates are not matching up. I went through all the cases with Coulliette in Jackson County, and none of them appear to be being handled by this judge, Anna Garcia. All we know is it's Jackson County felony trial, State versus Coulliette. Maybe it's this Jeff Eugene. No. Yeah. Got to find the facts of this case. This is intriguing. Thank you, Holder Horses, for gifting a membership. Arkansas Magnet Fisher, you are the recipient. Good to have you back in green. Wonderful. This is not the Family Feud one. The judge has said no video allowed out of Family Feud, which was a surprise to all of us. Seeing if I can find her docket at least. Calendars and schedules. Toxic, that's what I heard as well, that we're going to find out after the fact. I think that's the end of the video.
It's time to publish C3.
No.
You may proceed to publishing C3.
Might be Jonathan Coulliette. Found the docket. The dates line up there, at least the right month, right year. Aggravated battery with deadly weapon. Let's see. What are we looking at here? Sorry. Dude in the hospital room. Just chilling. Takes us back to the Alexander. What was his last name? The guy who shot himself in the foot.
Now, so Reed, what is the date stamp in the top right of the video?
It's 9/11 of 21, 1900 hours.
And what's 1900 hours in the 12-hour, not the 24-hour?
It would be 8 o'clock. No, 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock.
7:05?
Yep.
Is this where you tried to talk with Trenton Howard?
Yes, sir.
The guy's like heavily drugged, heavily medicated. And the police officer's like, can you spell your name for me? It's like A, B, C. Yeah.
Officer Reed, what
happened?
after you met with Jasmine Henderson and Trenton Howard at the hospital, what happened next?
I tried to continue on my investigation, but due to Trent being under anesthesia or being treated at the time, I wasn't able to get a statement from him. So the very next shift, he was released and we were able to get a statement from him. So kept conducting my investigation pretty much.
What time did your shift end that day?
It would have been, I was on night shift, so it would have been in the morning, approximately 5 o'clock in the morning.
So when did you obtain a statement sworn statement from Mr. Howard?
It would have been the very next day, 9/12, sometime during my shift.
And what happened next?
After getting a sworn statement from Trenton, I carried out my duties and kept working the investigation. We tried to go make contact with Mr. Coulliette at his residence.
What day and time did you go to Mr. Coullette's residence to make contact?
It would have been the same shift, early in the morning. So on body cam, it would state 9:13.
So September 13th, right?
Correct.
Okay. And do you recall about what time?
Approximately 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock in the afternoon, morning?
In the morning.
And so then you did go to, do you know the address that you responded to on that September 13th day?
I don't know the numerics on it right offhand, but I know it was on Tobe Lane.
Okay. And what did you do when you got to Tobe Lane?
We tried to make contact with Mr. Coulliette. We did make contact with his mother, I believe, and his brother.
Okay. Did you ever make contact with Mr. Coulliette?
I did not.
Did you ever make contact with Samantha Yao?
I did not.
You would look in front of you in that book again to what is marked as, for identification purposes only, as State's Exhibit C1.
Yes, sir.
Tell me if you recognize it.
I do.
And how do you recognize it?
That's body cam footage from the incident that took place.
Does it have your initials on it?
It does.
Have you reviewed that?
I have.
Is it a true and accurate recording of your body cam footage from September 13th of 2021?
Yes, sir, it is.
Your Honor, this time the state would move into evidence was marked as State's Exhibit C3 as State's Exhibit C3.
Is there any objection?
No, ma'am.
All right.
C1, Your Honor. I apologize.
C1 and C3 I've already admitted. So is it C2?
I believe I just published C2 and C3, and that is C1. I'm mistaken.
Okay, fair enough. And so for clarification of the record, C2 and C3 were the two that were body cam footage that had been edited, that has been admitted into the record. And Mr. Atkinson, any objection to C1 that is body cam footage on
Which we've already seen.
Toblaine. Any objection to that coming in? All right, ladies and gentlemen, what's been marked for identification purposes as State's Exhibit C1 is now admitted into evidence as State's Exhibit C1. This will be available to you during your deliberations. And you may publish.
We have a Darrell Brooks hearing today as well, by the way, up in Wisconsin. 2 p.m. Milwaukee time, final pretrial. Don't know if he's going to be there. He's wanted to have all his hearings where he just zooms in, so we'll see. And that's the final pretrial for intimidating a victim or threatening force, intimidating a witness, and bail jumping. Kevin, we do not have fiber yet. It's going to be the 30th now. 7 more days. The day they were supposed to show up and install it, they called me and said, okay, we've scheduled you for the 30th. I'm like, no, you've had a week and a half to get here and install it, not a week and a half to schedule my date. So I think they let me slip on accident and then pretended like nothing happened. I paid them in January, if that's any indicator. I paid them in January to have this installed. Oh, look, they figured out the video. Let's see. Probably no audio on this one either. Oh, it's in a police car driving. Does he have a light-up steering wheel? Oh, it's just a reflection of the light. That's all.
And officer, if you would just tell us what the top date timestamp is that we're looking on your body cam.
9/13 of 21, approximately 2 o'clock in the morning.
September 13th, 2 a.m. I don't know why we don't get audio with these. Crank the sound, see if there's any noise in the background. I'm going to need some help on the case info. This is Judge Ana Maria Garcia, 14th Judicial Circuit Court in Florida. This is a felony case. We know that it's Coulliette, Coullette. I think I spelled that right. And it happened, it looks like on September 11th, September 13th timeframe in 2021. So far, the cops walked up to the door, knocked on the door. Nobody's answered. He's now backed up. He's looking around on the property. There's a bright light over there, just like lighting up the whole yard. Oh, wait. There's a car also parked on the lawn, which seems a bit strange. Okay, it looks like it might be a good spot for a car. It's right behind the RV. Officer's headed to the back. I don't think he's made contact with anyone yet. More lights. Oh. Hello, friend. How are you doing? Is that guy just ripped? And is he wearing a dress? Nope, it's shorts.
I'm sorry, do you know who this individual is pictured on the body cam that you all are speaking with?
I believe it's Mr. Coullette's brother.
You caught me without a shirt on. Board shorts. He just appeared out of nowhere. I did not see him coming in there. Well, in Family Feud, the judge said no cameras. This is very Florida. This is normal Florida. The guy has some serious pectoral muscles. Give names. All I know is it's Florida, state of Florida versus Coulliette. We're trying to find the actual detail of the trial here. It's in the 14th Circuit Court in Florida, live right now with Judge Anna Garcia. So all you sleuths, if you can find something, it has to be, the time of the incident has to be about 9/21 or September 11th of 2021. Looks like is when it occurred. What did he just say? He said, I was kicked back taking it easy.
I was kicked back taking it easy.
What do you bet that this trailer never moves? It is a camper, but I don't think it moves. Oh, he's just lighting one up. He's going to burn one down here for a bit. Just relax while he's on the phone. Yeah, Bryce, I apologize. We were told that we'd get cameras, and then at the end we heard we're not. Thanks, little miss. I didn't realize we've got a lot of people looking for this.
Officer Reed, I've paused the body cam footage. You were directed towards a different area. Do you know what area you were directed towards?
That was the supposed shed that Mr. Coulette was staying in and where the incident had occurred.
Okay. And is it the kind of the lighted up portion where my cursor is currently?
It is.
Okay. And what are we looking at right where my cursor is?
That's the front door to the shed.
Front door to the shed, thank you.
Going to zoom in a bit and see if we can watch this a little closer. Brush up on your lip reading. who's streaming this. Maisla, this is Judge Anna Garcia from the 14th Circuit Court in Florida. This is a felony case, the state versus Coulliette. And that's all we know right now. And it's Zoom, so I zoomed in on the Zoom. Yes, TMB. You guys asked to go check out a local court. This one was live. We haven't followed her before. It's a felony case, so it might have some interesting bits to it. For some reason, the audio from the video they're playing in court is not coming across the live stream. Which website? This is over YouTube, Maisla. We're still trying to figure out the crime. We know that there was somebody named Coulliette that attacked someone around Christmas time in 2020 and stabbed them with a knife, and the knife was still in their arm when the cops arrived. We're not sure if that's the case. That was also in Jackson County, same name, same county. But this one,
standing in front of this shed for a while. Are you? What are y'all doing here?
We're trying to make contact.
And how are you trying to do that?
We knocked on the door several times. I believe we made known that we were there. We announced out. I'm listening for movement in the shed, in which we never heard anything.
Based on the information you had, what else were you doing? Were you looking for anything else while you were at this residence?
We were just trying to make contact at this time and looking for any evidence that may help us.
Sure. Anything in particular? Any blood? Anything like that you're looking for?
Yeah, we looked around a little bit, but due to the lighting and everything, it being dark, we didn't see anything at the time.
Hey, Greeners, I realize this is one of the cases. This is the one that happened on Christmas time. I think all the dates on this video are 9/11 of 2021. So I think this is a different case. Definitely Coulliette is the defendant's name. There's also a Howard involved here. You're probably looking for the man's shirt right now, DMB.
You found no blood on the porch. Is that accurate?
No, sir.
Is this residence located in Jackson County?
It is.
Does the defense wish to cross-examine this witness?
Yes, ma'am.
Your witness, Mr. Atkinson.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What is luminol?
What's that?
Luminol? You know what luminol is?
Yes, we
Luminol, as in like light?
Yes. Stuff to locate blood. Did you use any luminol on that porch?
As we were walking up, we shined our lights toward the porch. Yes, sir.
But there's a chemical you can put on. You know that, right? That you can detect blood even if it's been cleaned up?
Yes, sir. I'm aware of that, but we don't have that resource. I didn't have that resource on me.
Okay. Could you have gotten that resource from somebody?
Not that I know of. I've never seen that resource in my time at Jackson County Sheriff's Office.
Okay. So the Sheriff's Department don't have access to luminol, which is basically a chemical to detect blood. Is that what your testimony is?
I'm sure they do, but I did not have access to that.
What about the FDLE crime lab? Do you think they have luminol?
I'm sure.
Okay. Did you make contact with FDLE crime lab?
Not at that time.
Okay. All right. So there could have been blood there, but you couldn't detect it with your eyes and the flashlight we was using.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Now, let's talk. Can you put up B1?
Yes, this officer was expected to carry luminol on his belt.
I do.
That's not a true and accurate depiction of the way that was on September 11th, is it?
No, sir.
Okay. Do we have any other evidence, such as an arrow after that we could have used maybe to get a better depiction to show to the jury?
You
have access to a drone maybe?
I believe Sheriff's Office has a drone. Yes, sir.
So you could have used the drone and maybe got a better picture of the way it was on September 11th. Is that not correct?
We could have, not at that time though, not at 2 o'clock.
September 11th?
On September 11th?
Yes, sir.
September 11th was the day that the initial report had come in. I was unable to get, a statement from Trenton at the time.
But I think you testified that you'd gotten a detailed statement from Jasmine Henderson, correct?
I did.
You knew where it happened at.
I did.
You knew, I think we even wrote it down in the notes that who done it, right?
Correct.
Okay. So, okay, I got you doing a lot on the 11th. Okay.
Right.
What about the 12th? Could we got a drone to take us an aerial photograph?
We could have, but due to resources, we're short staffed at the time and nobody could go do that at the time.
What about the FDLE crime lab?
They possibly could have.
Did you call them?
I did not personally.
All right. So when you get to the hospital, it looks like on your body cam that it's like right at 7 and then you're there like almost 8 o'clock. Is that correct?
Correct.
Right. From 6 to about 8. Correct?
Right.
All right. So do you recall when you actually got the call and how long it took you to respond to the hospital?
I think I was at dispatch at approximately 1,700 hours. Maybe closer to 1,600 hours.
4 or 5 o'clock?
Yes, sir. 5 o'clock.
And did you go to the hospital at that time?
I did. I went straight to the hospital. That's where the call had come in at.
Okay. So where was Jasmine and Trenton Henderson at? Or Trenton Howard at that time when you first got there?
When I first got to the hospital, Trent was in the ER room, one of the rooms in the ER, and Jasmine was there at the hospital with him.
Okay. Was she in the ER with him?
If I remember correctly, she was outside the ER, and I made contact with her right outside the room.
And so your body cam, and I'm trying to figure out because it says, right around 6 o'clock is when we're showing this. And I guess there was more body cam before that you know of? Before 1800, before 6 o'clock.
I think the only body cam I have is when I'm walking up to the hospital.
Was there ever a time that you didn't have your body cam on that you was talking to Trenton and to Jasmine, if you recall?
Not that I recall.
Okay. You actually saw the car that she drove up in. Is that not correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Did you see any blood on the outside of the car?
I did not.
Okay. And she gave me a detailed statement and kind of indicated where everything had happened, correct?
That is correct.
And I'm assuming you because of what you told, you was looking for blood on the outside.
I was.
Okay. Did you see any blood on the inside of the car?
I did not. Not that I recall.
Okay. And we don't have any pictures of that, of the car?
No, sir.
Did you search the car for a weapon?
I did not.
Okay. All right. And again, I know you're short-staffed, okay? I feel your pain.
It doesn't have any luminol either.
But so you're there at, relatively close to when the incident occurred at the house. Did anybody get dispatched actually to Toby Lane where it occurred at on September the 11th?
Not on September 11th. Not that I recall.
All right. And I'm assuming based on what Jasmine had told you, I mean, I understand you had not really talked to Trent at that point in time, that Jasmine had told you that you had a possible crime scene at Toby Lane on the 11th around 5 or 6 o'clock, correct?
Correct.
And I'm assuming you told your dispatch what was going on, obviously.
Yes,
probably your supervisor. And nobody took the time to dispatch somebody to a possible crime scene?
Not that I recall.
Okay. And you've been doing this a little while. You understand the importance of getting to the crime, an alleged crime scene as quickly as possible to do things, correct?
Yes, sir.
What do you want to do? When you want to secure a crime scene, correct?
Right.
You want to make sure that if there's any evidence, locate that evidence to either verify or corroborate what the alleged victim and his girlfriend may say, as opposed to what you may learn later on, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Kit Kat, some of them are hard to find. Look for trial and filter by live video.
You did go to the house on Toby Lane.
Yes,
right?
sir.
And that was his residence, correct?
Yes, sir.
I mean, it looks like a pretty nice little home
Mm-hmm.
there. I mean, they had air conditioning, they had lights on and things like that. Okay. Now, did you know at this point in time on September 11th, what Mr. Coulliette did for a living?
I did not.
Did you know if he worked out of town or anything like that?
I was unsure at that time.
Okay. Did you call him ahead of time and tell him, hey, we're going to be there at 2:00 in the morning on the 13th and I need to talk to you or talk to his girlfriend?
I did not. I did not have a phone number at that time.
Okay. All right. Had anybody from September the 11th at around 7 or 8 o'clock until September the 13th around 2:00 in the morning ever go to Toby Lane that you know of?
Not that I know of.
Okay. All right. You do agree, and I'm going to make sure I got the numbers right. Okay. So this incident was alleged to have happened on September the 11th at around 4 o'clock. You agree?
4 or 5 o'clock, roughly.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So at September the 12th at 4 or 5 o'clock, that's 24 hours, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Okay.
Right.
And then we count from maybe 4 o'clock up until 2:00 in the morning on September the 13th. We're right around almost 34 hours is what I calculate. Almost 36 hours, correct?
Correct.
And nobody had been to Toby Lane prior to that?
Not that I know of.
Was there anything preventing y'all from going up there and maybe possibly going up there during the daytime?
Just being short-staffed, everybody was running calls, and nobody could go. It was my case to work at the time.
Right.
I was currently working the investigation. I was unable to go right away. Something we could have worked on.
Yeah. And don't sound like you got a lot of assistance, and I understand why. Okay.
Right.
All right.
Kit Kat search trials.
But you do agree
filter by live
that
on YouTube.
You know, hindsight's 20/20, obviously, and I'm not armchair quarterbacking you, but it would have been helpful to the jury to be able to see what had happened more closer to the time that it happened than 34 hours later.
Correct.
Okay. And at the point in time you went to the house on September the 13th, had you taken a statement from Trenton?
Trenton, we got a statement from Trenton on 9/12.
Okay. All right. So you had that
same shift. It was the same shift, but we had got a statement the same day. Yes.
So you did have a statement from him before you went to the house on September 13th?
Correct.
Okay. Did you get a search warrant?
Not for Mr. Coullette's residence.
Okay. Did you feel like you had probable cause to get a search warrant at that time?
Not at that time. We didn't have enough evidence or enough.
All right. And did you get an arrest warrant at that point in time?
Not at that time.
Because you don't feel like you had probable cause, right?
Right.
So what you had at that point in time that you said you didn't have probable cause, and I'm not disagreeing with you, okay? You had the statements of Trenton Howard, correct?
Correct.
And you had the statements of Jasmine Henderson, right?
Correct.
And no physical evidence.
Not at that time.
Okay. And today, what we have is the statement and testimony of Trenton Howard and of Jasmine Henderson, and still no physical evidence, correct?
Not on my part.
Okay. All right. All right. So we're no in better shape. We're in no better shape than on September the 13th of 2021 as we sit here today, are we?
I mean, I can't speak on everybody else's behalf, on the investigation's behalf, but my part, I did not have other physical evidence other than pictures.
And you didn't have any physical evidence at that point in time?
At that point, no, sir.
Okay. All right. And we still don't have no physical evidence except this picture that was taken before 2011, obviously, or 2021, and then a body cam, right?
Right.
Okay. And you did not have probable cause at that time. That's why you didn't get a search warrant, right?
At that time, I was just trying to gather as much information as possible.
And I appreciate that. I really do. But we never went inside the house, did we?
Not inside his residence, no, sir.
And we could have maybe at some point in time, if we got physical evidence or more statements than from Jasmine, them, we could have got a search warrant then, right?
Possibility.
And we didn't do it, did we?
No, sir.
Okay. And you could have went inside the house.
I could have with a search warrant.
Okay. All right. Or you could have got consent.
Or consent.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And you found no blood inside the house, did you? Because you didn't go in there.
We didn't go in the house.
Okay. All right. And again, FDLE didn't work that inside the house. You didn't call them to do that, did you?
I did not personally.
Do you know of anybody who did?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. So then when y'all got there, and I was trying to look for it, did you know that there was actually a white truck there that had been parked there prior on September 11th?
I don't recall.
Okay, all right. It does not appear to be in the body cam,
Right.
but the testimony is. So did you see a white truck there?
I don't recall.
Okay. Do you recall ever, and I think I know the answer, but I got to get it on the record, okay?
Right.
All right. Did you ever look at a white truck and see any blood on a white, I think it was a Dodge pickup truck that may have belonged to Trenton Howard at any point in time?
No, sir.
Okay. Did you take any measurements to where Jasmine says she was parked at to the door?
Not physically, not with a measuring tape. No, sir.
Did you take any measurements at all?
Just by visually observing it. No measurements. No.
And I understand that you're there at night, you're trying to use flashlights to find blood, but there was nothing, and I understand that was your shift, but there was nothing preventing somebody else going back out there during the daylight or probably the earlier part of your shift and looking for evidence, correct?
Yeah, somebody could have.
And again, I think I know the answer to this. And if you never saw the white truck, you never saw if there was any weapons in that truck at that point.
That's correct.
Okay. Kid may have just a moment.
You may.
That's a tough question. Thank you.
Any redirect of this witness?
Yes, just briefly.
Your witness, Mr. Gill.
Officer Reed, did any of the people that you met with at the residence try to help locate Jonathan Coulliette?
I know the brother, I believe, made a phone call to the mother, and but nobody tried to call Coulliette.
Okay.
As we were there.
And so I want to be clear on September 13th, 2021, the evidence you had was a statement by Trenton Howard. Is that right?
Correct.
And also a statement by Jasmine Henderson.
Correct.
And based on that information, I think the information you gathered was that a crime occurred outside of the residence, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And it would be very difficult then to get a search warrant for something that only evidence you have is occurred outside of the residence, correct?
Right.
Okay. Hard to get a search warrant to get in, in someone's house if no crime occurred in the house, right?
Correct.
Okay. And again, nobody answered the door at that time on September 13th, 2021, when you came to that residence.
Not at Mr. Coullette's residence, no, sir.
If someone was in that residence, was it clear that law enforcement was there that day?
Absolutely.
Okay. Did you have probable cause to arrest Jonathan Coulliette with the information you had on September 13th, 2021?
Jonathan Coulliette.
Not at that time, I don't believe.
That's all I have there.
Anything further?
Judge, maybe one question.
Sure. Go ahead, Mr. Atkinson.
I'm awake here. I'm just doing some research here. Sorry.
So you understood before you ever got there that this was Jonathan Coullette's home, correct?
Correct. That's what we were told.
And you have enough experience, I believe, I would think, okay, and I understand you're short staffed, but you understand that when you start talking about something happening, a crime committed at somebody's home, that you're probably going to give a little more credence or attention to stuff around the home, correct?
You're right.
Because you know that they're probably going to say, I'm acting in self-defense, and this is my home, this is my castle, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And even if you were told by Henderson and Trenton Howard that it happened on the inside, wouldn't you want to know, based on the fact that it's happened in his home, whether or not they were actually telling you the truth?
I would.
Okay. And the way you would have done that is went inside the home too, right?
Correct, but I mean, we couldn't get a hold of anybody
I
at the time,
understand,
so.
but you could have got a search warrant based on that. You agree?
I just felt like I didn't have enough evidence at the
I
time.
understand. Okay. All right. That's all I have.
Anything further, counsels?
No, Your Honor.
All right, may this witness be released.
I have no objection to being released from the subpoena, Judge.
Not from the state, Your Honor.
All right. Officer Reed, you are released from your trial subpoena, which means you may go about your business. Thank you for being
Yes,
here.
sir. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, as I have promised, we are going to take a lunch break. Okay. So this is our lunch break. The time is 12:16. I have to give our staff a full hour break, or I'd like to give them a full hour break. And so what I'm going to have you guys do is come back at 1:40. Okay. And that way we continue to work a little bit after you're gone. And then that way I can give my staff the whole an hour full break for them to go to lunch. Okay. Don't forget, you have not yet heard all of the evidence, my instruction on the law, or the attorney's argument regarding the evidence that you have seen. Please do not form any definite or fixed opinions until such time, and do not communicate with anyone about this case. All right. I'll rise for our jurors to exit the courtroom. If you need to grab things from the jury room, you're welcome to, and then we'll escort you outside. Okay.
Okay, so we've got Jonathan Coulliette. Why is this case? There's nothing on the books anywhere. Can anyone see anything? We're gonna take lunch when they do. I'll get some lunch for sure. Jonathan Coulliette. Okay, so Jonathan Clarence. Oh, wait, I might have it here. Let's see. The judge is listed as William. Let's see. This is aggravated assault, felony battery, transferred to another court.
You may be seated. Let the record reflect that the jurors have exited the courtroom. However, still in the courtroom is counsel for the state, counsel for the defendant, and the defendant. The jurors are not present. Counsels, are there any matters that we need to consider outside of the presence of the jury before we take our lunch break?
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
Judge, I think I'm pretty sure based on the amendment of the information that some of the instructions may have changed.
Sure.
So I've looked at the ones we got. They look pretty good. And
Okay.
We'll take a little time. I'll look at the ones when we get them amended.
Sure. So guys, here's what I'm looking at as far. So if we start back up at 1:40, we still have 3 state witnesses. Then we'll have to go through any evidentiary motions that the defense wishes to present, as well as inquiry of the defendant, whether or not he wishes to testify on his own behalf, as well as a charging conference or possibly defense witnesses, right? So my thought is this: I'd like to get done today as close to about 4:30 as possible. See wherever we are, okay? Certainly it would be ideal if we are done with all our witnesses and then we could do our charging conference, stay in later to the night, and then come back tomorrow, do closings and deliberations. But I traditionally will not turn a jury loose, okay? And so I'm not going to, let them start deliberating today, and I'd just rather them come back tomorrow because otherwise all right? So that's where we are. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Any concerns doing that?
No, ma'am, we're good.
Any witness issues?
No, ma'am.
Our professional witnesses will have in and out today.
Yes, Judge. I think we'll have everything done.
Sure. Okay. All right. Well, then let's be in recess until, what did I say, 1:40? I hope I did the math right. But anyway, 1:40. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Okay, so Jonathan Coulliette has there are a couple Jonathan Coullettes there in Jackson County, Florida, that have some stuff on the books. One of them, if I view the selection on him, it shows that back in 2012, let me go to our court is in recess. We'll be back momentarily. In 2012, there was an aggravated battery. In 2009, there was domestic battery by strangulation, aggravated assault with firearm, reckless driving, leaving the scene of an accident with injury or death. In 2007, there was felony battery. 2004, aggravated assault. It sounds like we have the right guy, but I'm not seeing a current case on him. That's 2012 was the file date on the last aggravated assault after all the other ones. So 2012 he had that. 2009 he had all the strangulation, the firearm offenses, reckless driving, leaving the scene. 2007 was felony battery. 2004 was another ag assault. I think he's our guy. I just don't know what violence or mayhem he has caused here for this particular trial. We're going to go to lunch. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more information afterwards. The timing is off. Can't be in Florida. It's Central Time. It's going to be on the Panhandle area of Florida. Is that right? Don't they have part of Florida in another time zone? Florida time zones. Yeah, there's a part of it, just the Panhandle's in the Central Time Zone, which would match up because we've got Jackson County, which I believe is over in that Panhandle area. Jackson County, Florida. We're going to check the map. Yep, it's in the Central Time Zone. We're good. It's west of the divider line between Alabama and Georgia. So yeah, it's if you continue that divider line down from between Alabama and Georgia, Jackson County is going to be on the west side of that. So they're in the Central Time Zone. They're going to take an hour or so break. We're going to take a break as well. We'll come back and see if we can pick up the rest of this and also try to see if anything is going to happen on Family Feud, if anything's going to happen after the fact. It's a little bit of a bummer that we don't get to follow this. But Coulliette, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Appreciate that. It looks like those were all handed out quite quickly. Went to Michelle Stark, Lucia Luz, Mike Ladd, Little Dippy, and Kiefer, Texas. Congratulations. Thank you very much, Coulliette. Yeah, we can finish this case off the shed. This might go to the jury this afternoon. We might have verdict watch before we even know what the charges are. It could happen. All right. I'm going to let you guys wrap up your shed conversation. There's one in 2016 for meth trafficking. Oh, that's nice. That's just a little misdemeanor, right? Jackson County is central. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good on the time. It's live. It's happening right now. I just don't know where the documents are for this trial. I see you guys talking about the Merritt case. That is not the Family Feud case. That is a different one. Brandy is covering that. If you want to pop over to Brandy's channel, Merritt apparently is taking the stand right now. That'll be interesting. Sub count, we're at 21,933, Sharon. 21,933. Did you see my messages on Facebook, Dodie? I have not seen any of the messages on Facebook yet. I'm using the live stream to monitor this feed, and it causes a little bit of trouble. Stephen, aim higher. Aim higher for your goals, your lofty goals in life. As Carrie Brooks says, no, Stephen, no. All right, we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you very much. It's been a fantastic morning. We're going to come back and follow some of this local court as well while we're trying to figure out where to go next, as a couple trials are wrapping up right now, including the Merritt one. Might be in verdict watch here soon. So can't hear you over the music. What music? There's no music playing. I hear no music. Let's see. There's the music. Okay. Thank you very much. Have a great day. We're going to see you later. Tonight when you go home, hug the people you love, smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and stay safe till we go live again. After lunch, in an hour, we'll be back. We'll talk some of this morning. We'll talk some of whatever this trial is that we're following. And we'll move on. Thank you so much. Fantastic day. You guys were amazing this morning. I appreciate y'all. We'll see you in a little bit.